it's just amazing because I had my, discovery call and he was trying to sell me on. I'm like, listen, like I've been watching Jamil for a long time. Just let's make this happen.
Faith in the unknown is the only way out. So what's it like now? What's the business looking like for you today?
I mean, in the past 2 weeks, locked up like 7 deals.
What the frick, dude? And we're back with another episode of To the Moon. And in today's episode, I got one of my favorite Astro Flipping community members. Might be in my top 10, maybe top 5, possibly top 3. That's a big maybe. No, actually, it's not. This gentleman here is first. I'm extremely proud of him. I have seen him completely transform not only his personal life. I've been able to see him up level the way he lives, his mindset, his economics. Everything has changed, and I've been able to watch this happen in a rapid fire. I am so pleased to introduce to all of you, Mr. Seth Pettit. What's cracking, bro? How you doing? Welcome to the moon.
Living the dream, brother. This thing has actually been on my vision board, so it's about time I check this off the list, man.
Amazing. Yes, you are. It's actually past due. You should have been on here long ago. Seth, I want to bring everybody along with your journey, and so if you could kindly wind us back to what things looked like for you prior to learning about wholesale real estate. Then how did you find out about wholesale real estate? And then we will carry on from there. So how did you, what were you doing prior to getting involved in this incredible niche of wholesaling?
So I just bought my first house, was doing the 9 to 5 grind, was a General Motors mechanic, just putting in the work. And I actually came across a gentleman on TikTok talking about wholesaling.
Who was it?
His name was Paul McCombs.
Okay, don't know him, but cool. Thank you, Paul.
He actually passed away in a car accident not that long ago.
Rest in peace, brother. Rest in peace, man.
Rest in peace. He was a good guy. The people he was mixed up with in his mentorship, not necessarily the best, but him personally, he was also a General Motors mechanic. So I found a lot of similarities with him, and he taught how to market using Facebook, using free ads and stuff. But that mentorship like crumbled and falled, and it just, the leads also stopped coming in because they believe that they overtaught it. So I was doing that, had early success. It was during like 2021, and it was hard to fail in 2021. I mean, hell, you locked the property up, it sold itself.
Sure.
So that was going, and then with that crumbling and falling, I tried going the direct to seller route, spending hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars trying to make that work. And in the same time, I'm following you, watching Wholesale Hotline like every Monday, just like clockwork. Sort of a little like not sure if I wanted to pull the trigger, but then I got down to like my last 10 grand. And I was like, okay, I can keep doing this route that I'm doing, and it's not producing anything, or I can go this route. And then I actually saw the challenge with John Galan, the Secret Weapons Challenge.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I was like, take my money. Like, here's my card. Take my money. And it's just amazing because I had my, discovery call and he was trying to sell me on. I'm like, listen, like I've been watching Jamil for a long time. Just let's make this happen.
Well, I appreciate the confidence in me, man. And it speaks a lot to your mindset coming in, because I recognized in you a person who was, not only driven. I would say driven would be like the base of your personality. You've got ambition, you've got a positive nature. You see exactly what you're trying to get after, and you go not only at the same time encouraging everybody around you, which I think is a very special quality. So you find yourself in astro flipping. You're just like, let's go. You get in, and what was your first impression of the community?
So that's actually, it's really wild, man. Like, because at the same time I joined astro flipping, completely off topic, but I was in a relationship that was on its way out. And I truly believe that the powers that be it should have ended way before it did. But I don't think the powers that be let it end until I had a community to lean on. because I'll never forget this. Like one of my first or second posts in the group, you can go check it out. When that happened, I lost motivation, and I just, leaned on the community, made a post like, hey, I know this isn't a life coaching group, but like my why was structured for 2 people. Like, how do I stay focused? And like 80 people commented, hitting me up with their numbers. Just like, that's when I realized this is something bigger than just a mentorship.
Yeah.
Right? Like this is a true community that you can lean on when times get rough and you're feeling, dragged down. And just that moment right there, I'll never forget it. It was very eye-opening, and just able to use the community, lean on the community, and bounce back. I wouldn't have all these positive features that you just listed off if it wasn't for the community. It really helped me out, keeping that positive mindset, keep pushing forward. And I was in analysis paralysis for a minute there, but then I showed up to Nightmare on Deal Street event. First time I ever met you in person. And that's where I actually got over the fear of cold calling.
Right, because we did that all in person at that little mini event.
Yeah.
And then you kind of demystified it, right? It was just like, oh, this isn't hard.
No.
This is like, I mean, if a call goes bad, I can just hang up, or whatever. Like, it's nothing is gonna kill me here, right? And so you understand that you're on, literally everything that could be fearful is self-created.
Yep.
And once you make that realization, it's just like, well, I'm going to just stop being scared. Right. I'll never forget this day with you. Right. Because you were learning agent outreach. You were learning how to value property. You were getting really into understanding the mechanics of underwriting, which I think is fundamentally the most important part of anybody's career in real estate. Understand how to value property before you do anything. Whether you're looking at creative finance, whether you're looking at, seller finance, subject to wholesaling cash deals, wholesaling any creative deals, whatever that is, understanding the numbers behind it is a fundamental necessity in success in this business. And I would watch you come to the calls and like practice and really make sure that you honed in that skill. But there was a very special thing going on in your world. As you were speaking to us, you could see your breath because you were in such a cold room that because your furnace had failed you and you didn't have money to fix it at the time. Yet this guy is on the call, smiling as ear to ear. He's just like, I right now I'm just in this spot. I don't have a furnace. I can't turn the heat on in here. So what was that like? Can you explain what that felt like? In being able to maintain faith. Because it's interesting, right? I also went through a terrible relationship split, and I'm still feeling the effects of it. Yet my wife and I are still like very close friends. We speak every day, and I was talking to her the other day, and it dawned on me, right, that faith in the unknown is the only way out. It's the only way out. You got to have faith in the unknown. If you can't anchor to faith in the unknown that you're going to be provided for and taken care of, as long as you continue to take action and have belief in yourself, then this entire game will fall apart on you. And so you maintained faith in that unknown time. What was it like?
I can't say it was easy. It was, the biggest thing was I was showing up to the calls and I was seeing constant success from other people. And I'm a true believer on, if they can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
So I just kept showing up to the calls, your theory calls, always, you seem to always jump on and say the exact thing that we need to hear every Sunday. It was mind boggling, man. And just kept putting in the work. I had a rough schedule. I'm lucky enough to not have kids or anything like that. So I just would go to work, come home, and jump right on to cold calling agents. But it was just the simple fact that I had done it before with a previous company, previous mentorship, and I know I can do it again because other people are doing it in here and they're very successful. I mean, look at John Galan, look at Brittany Berryman. Yeah. Like there's just so many success stories that it's impossible for nobody to not get success if you keep putting in the work. it will
Absolutely.
happen.
Very true. Very true. Success ultimately finds you in the face of overcoming obstacles and just, grit and resilience at the end of the day. And so, resilient you are, and you powered through that cold, dark night of the soul, if you want to call it, when you're just in a room alone, realizing you can't, fix the appliance that's going to give you warmth. But you've got warmth in your spirit, knowing that there's a brighter day ahead, and it came, right? So explain to us how that all transpired for you, because when you got that first deal in the Astro community, you had done business prior, but when you got that first deal using our techniques and leveraging the community to do it, we all partied for you. Like, there was a mass show up for Seth in the community. Explain how that deal happened.
So it was awesome, because first off, when I got paid, it was at the mastermind, my first mastermind I went to, and I remember taking that photo right at the mastermind. But how it came was through agent outreach. I actually think I tried working with her on a previous deal, but it just didn't work out. Someone else was able to pick it up, and she brought it to me, pre-market, and I had this amazing girl, Hade. She's local. I was in the Dallas Fort Worth market at the time, and she's local there, and she also does flips herself. So she was able to go there, check it out, and it was tooth and nail getting it done. Not gonna lie, Hade bust through all the walls that kept getting, put up in front of us, and I'm not sure if it got put on the market just yet. I can imagine so that it's been enough time that I'm gonna have to reach out and ask her about it. But yeah, she was able to go in there, and she bought it herself, did the renovations herself, and worked with Hanoi Vargas on it. Very, very well known guy there in the Dallas Fort Worth market. And we went to the mastermind together, and she handed me the check right there at the mastermind. So I was able to just get the deal from agent outreach, find the buyer in the community, and it was all able to just stay within Astro. Like, I didn't have to go and post my deal on Facebook or anything like that. It was of course, things popped up, but it was a very seamless transaction for how it could have gone.
So you're telling me that you found an opportunity, and then you were able to find a buyer within the community. So everything you needed was in one place.
Yep.
And how often would you say things like that transpire in this community?
All the time. I mean, heck, the next 3 deals, same thing. I did another deal with Hanoi, and I did another deal with Hade that she picked off. And I think she talked with you at the mastermind of how she should design it, or maybe think about putting on a garage.
She's a talented cookie, man. We got to get her on this podcast as well. I'm surprised that she hasn't been on yet. So I got to get on Natasha about that. But bro, you ultimately start doing deals, and then you move your butt out of whatever cold place you were living in. Michigan, right? Was that right?
Yes, sir.
Living in cold Michigan, right? Which I actually resonate with the people in Michigan, because I grew up in Canada, and a lot of people from Toronto drive to Michigan, and people from Michigan drive to Toronto when they're 18 years old and they want to party, because you can consume alcohol at 18 or 19 or whatever in Ontario instead of 21, like you need to be in the States. And so, we share weather patterns amongst other things with the good people of Michigan. But you moved, and you were able to afford that by the relationships that you created in the community. And now you've got a completely different life. What does it look like today?
Yes, sir. I'm now living in not so sunny Florida right now. But no, I met my business partners in Astro, that I kept showing up, and they noticed it. Like, there's one thing you guys have said in the past. It's like, you don't know who's watching on these calls. That's another reason why I always jumped on with a smile on my face, because you don't know who's watching. And I just kept putting in the work. And I had a long talk with my now partner, Matthew Schwenk.
He's so good.
He's amazing, man. Like, he's just a special human being that knows how to connect with you on a deep level. And I was just asking him acquisition questions for 2 hours of how to better my business. And then I mentioned, I want to get out of Michigan. I'm tired of living here. I lived 40 minutes from anything, didn't really connect with any of my friends anymore. So I was just, sitting there alone trying to do the business, when I also know when you get in a room with like-minded people, your frequency also raises to that level. So they gave me the opportunity. They're like, dude, move down here. Like we got you. Join the team. And I couldn't have done it sooner. I remember just chopping all the wood I could to heat my house at Michigan, because I turned it into a rental, and packed up everything I could in my little Subaru and drove down to Florida.
So what's it like now? What's the business looking like for you today?
Man, I mean, in the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks, blocked up like 7 deals.
What the frick, dude? What is happening, man? Let's go.
Let's go.
So like your entire situation is different. Like you're completely a changed man. From your economics are different. Where you live is different. Your friends, your community is different. Like, well, did you expect this?
Not even close, man. If you'd have told me a year and a half ago that, hey, you'd be moving down to Florida, I'd have laughed at you.
And you'll be doing business like in 6 figures. You're gonna be a 6-figure man doing, locking up 7 deals in a couple of weeks, living in sunny Florida. You'll have cool glasses and a better haircut. Like, bro, faith in the unknown is the way, I tell you, man. Like and you kept that faith and you kept pushing. And if there's somebody out there right now that's feeling how you might have felt, in despair, kind of lost, maybe just without a community, or really they know deep inside of themselves that they're meant for something more, that there's other opportunities, or that they have a higher calling. What would you say to them?
That's a loaded question right there. I mean, the biggest thing I would say is don't quit, because you really don't know what your life could be if you continue to pursue this. If you quit, it's 100% guarantee it won't happen. But if you constantly keep putting in the work, getting 1% better every day, getting closer to your goal, it will happen. Especially in this business, it's impossible for you not to make something happen if you keep putting in the work. Some people have early success, and that's I think why I also needed a little more time to get success, because I think it took like 6 months for me, like consistently putting in the work, because my last mentorship, I got success really easily.
Yeah.
And I took my foot off the gas because of that. So I think the universe put me back through it, being like, hey, you're going to actually need to put in the work now. Just show me.
And you've learned consistency. You've learned, how discipline trumps motivation every day of the week. You've learned how community and squatting up with people is how you multiply your results, because your momentum increases, right? We look at the formula of momentum. If you look at the physics of the formula of momentum equals mass times volume. So there's 2 ways that you can increase momentum. You can increase your mass, meaning that you can have more people. That's one of the ways to increase your mass, more people involved, or you can increase your speed, right? Now, some of us can't increase speed because of life circumstances. We've got a 9-to-5 job. We've got obligations, children, family, the things. And so going faster really isn't the necessarily going to give us more momentum. But if we can squat up with people, if we can increase our mass, we can get so much more momentum and get to the place that we want to go with greater force. But it requires one of those 2 variables in order to get there. And you chose the community, you chose mass, you chose squatting up, and it has absolutely paid off for you. And I am so freaking proud of you, Seth. Like, I gotta say, dude, from the bottom of my heart, you have been, I would say, a shining example for me. One of the reasons that I continue to show up is to see your face. I'm not joking. There's this incredible thing that happens in the world of, being in the position that I'm in, right? Where, money is obviously always fun, and I enjoy making it. But at the other side of that, when I get to see people who have the opportunity to make money that is life-changing, like big amounts of cash, and I see that you do that in a way that is sustainable, consistent, and will provide for you for the entirety of the time that you decide to be in real estate, which I hope is forever, or until you leave this wonderful place. But I mean, dude, you did it, man. You absolutely did it. And is there anybody out there, you know, outside within the community that you want to just give some love to?
I mean, my mom always said I could do it. She believed in me even when times were getting hard. So I mean, I definitely want to throw my mom in there. She was a shining light. Always talking on the phone with her on my way home from work, saying, "This is the day. This is the day. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen." But the biggest thing is just this community, man. Like I've met my friends, my business partners, and I could call like 10 people on my phone right now that I've met from the community that would give me the shirt off their back. Like it's just a different level here like that. Like I said in the beginning of our call, when I made that post and got all that like kickback from the community, I realized this was something different. It's not just some guru trying to sell you a course. It's everybody truly cares about your success and your mindset. And there's several people I could think that are directly in the community, but outside of the community, a little more difficult just because of where I was. I literally didn't talk to many people back home. uh, but no, definitely my mom. She was a huge help.
I feel the same way about my mom. So, Seth, how do people get a hold of you if they want to do business with you?
Yeah, you can hit me up multiple ways. You can get me on Facebook. It's Seth Pettit. You can get me on my Instagram, the Self-Made Investor. And you can hit me up on my cell phone. It's gonna be 231-620-9233. Hit me up with any questions. I wanna help. That's something that I really feel like I was put on this earth to do is help people. And any question you think it's stupid, it's probably not. You're still learning the ropes. I'm more than happy to help. And I was in your position, so hit me up. Let's get it. Let's get you on this train because it can happen.
My man. Welcome to the moon, brother. You deserve to be here, and I'm excited to be your lunar roommate. Until the next time, guys, we'll see you again.
Take it easy.